come back, and of course in the rest round of fixtures we had big win last night for Manchester United team, coming back from 2-0 down and winning 3-2.
Tony, I think I've never seen United come back in a long time. At 2-0, I thought it was going to be
game over.
But because these guys had played poorly in the first half, Crystal Palace deserved to be leading the first half. But thanks to Mourinho's changes, as we say, Tony, it changed the game. But nonetheless, Tony, if you look at this performance, I think United should be disappointed.
Of course, United got a very poor first half from most of their star players. Pogba and Sanchez in particular looked like a shadow of their former glories. They tried hard, sometimes taking an extra touch and not distributing that ball very well. Crystal Palace, credit to them, they were very compact in that game. Of course, scored 2 goals. They would have expected to get at least a point in this one. We had mentioned that maybe they should be trying to get over that heartache at Tottenham.
Yeah.
And Tottenham visited and beat them in the final minutes. Again, it happened. They kept dropping points. Spells a big problem for Crystal Palace that now that they're near the relegation places, you don't drop points like this.
Yeah, Tony, don't drop points, but well done, Crystal Palace, Tony, because this side didn't have players. Kelly was just coming from an injury, I think it was first team, and Tim Fosu-Mensah is their number 2, who is a United player on loan. He could not play. Wilfred Zaha has not been in this side, and for them to produce such a performance, first half display, I would say it was a good performance. Every team fighting for the drop, not to go down, wants to get a point or a win. Yes, they lost, but this is something they can build on. The problem is when Zaha is not in the pitch, Tony, this season only they have lost 8 games, 8 or 9, and that's
of course big win for Manchester United. They got back into second place that had slipped from them earlier in the weekend when Liverpool took on, of course, that Newcastle side and beat them 2-0.
Yeah, Tony, we expect a routine win, and we always say Firmino, Mane, Salah, and the 2 goals came from Salah and then Mane, so it was a routine win, I thought.
Of course, just before that, of course, we had Tottenham playing against Huddersfield. Two big goals coming from Heung-min-Son, a player that I feel doesn't get the plaudits, but of course got the 2 goals in this one. Them beating Huddersfield there and keeping up the pressure on the top 3 sides. Spurs have been playing very well of late, team.
Yeah, Tony, Spurs have been playing well, but they were a bit far from the 4th spot, Tony, if you recall. But they have consolidated that position, and now Chelsea is trying to fight them. But they're not dropping points. They are just getting the uphill, and it's Chelsea that I've said before going to get out. But credit to Son, Tony. You said he's not getting the plaudits that he deserves. Every time Kane doesn't deliver, Son comes with the goods. As we know, Ali has not been up to his game this season. So this guy, Tony, deserves kudos.
Of course, Heung-min-Son is one of those players that we point out in the Spurs side. Played very well in that one. 2 goals for him. Of course, Pochettino should be happy with this game performance going into the midweek Champions League game against Juve, where they must win that fixture to proceed, or at least get a very high scoring, low scoring draw for them to go through there. But of course, the biggest game of the weekend, maybe in terms of results, came at the Amex Stadium on Sunday afternoon when Arsenal lost to Brighton 2-1.
Yeah, Tony, and I would like to start from where we stopped on Friday in this game, where I gave my prediction to Brighton 2-1. I really said I do not see any more energy in this Arsenal team. Tony, we've said Chelsea had one of their worst performances, but Arsenal, this is in the top 3 of their worst. I've been watching, I think, from 2000. We can't say 2000 because those were good players.
Is it the worst game on the day or the worst run? Because they've not played well in the past.
Yes, Arsenal is having the worst run. But if you're to improve your run, it has to be against a side that is small, with all due respect to Brighton. A side smaller like Brighton. Then you win and then try to pick up other wins on top of that win. And Arsenal just could not fashion a chance in the first half. Tony, I remember telling you that a big team can lose, it's acceptable. But
it's the nature of the loss.
You have the nature of the loss. Arsenal lost like a small team.
Of course, very, very interesting. Credit to Brighton. They started that game very, very lively. Of course, they must have had that Chris Hughton must have told his team that we need to try this team.
Yeah.
The teams that have tried Arsenal have got the goods, and they really, really tried them,
Engaged,
got the goals, engaged them from the start. Arsenal are the worst side from the kickoff. They got their 2 goals well deserved. Arsenal got a first half goal that they really didn't deserve, but should have built on that goal, of course, after the break.
Tony, any big team has to build on any scrappy goal again. We've seen comebacks through penalties and other goals. And Arsenal in the first half cut the deficit. That means you need one more goal to put pressure, because Brighton would know that they need a draw, worst case. So they would have gone defending. But well done, Brighton, Tony. Chris Hughton got his status right.
Of course, Arsenal is a team looking on the down now, rooted in 6th. Very, very firmly looks like they won't be finishing any higher in this league if they are to continue like this. 4 games lost in a row there for Arsene Wenger. Problems for him. He doesn't look to have any leadership across the team. Everyone looks like they've resigned. Aubameyang already looking like a shadow of his former self at Dortmund team.
Tony, he is a shadow of himself. Wenger cannot motivate any of these players. And for me, my only question is, what does Wenger need to do to be fired? Because he has done all, I don't know, because what he has done right now should be for being fired, Tony. But now, what does he have to do to be fired? Does he have to walk out by himself?
Of course, it will be very interesting. Would you, as the Arsenal board, fire him at this point or let him complete the season?
Okay, the best scenario is to let him complete. I mean, Wenger is a respectable man. I respect Wenger personally. But I think the negotiation should have started in searching for another coach. And Wenger, Tony, should be the one to come out and say, at the end of the season, I am stepping down.
Timothy, I disagree slightly on that one. I feel that Arsenal currently looks spineless. The players are not looking like they can play any football. We need to give a coach. If a new coach would come in, you need to give him time now to assess the players from March until May, when we have the season ending. Players will be going away for World Cup. So you need the coach to have already an idea who he needs before the World Cup, maybe start even negotiations with those players, so that when he comes after the World Cup break, he has an idea what to do next season. Letting Wenger go on and on and on and on. It's been 10 years of going on and picking up a few FA Cups here and there. Arsenal shouldn't be happy with this. Arsenal board shouldn't be settling for this. Another season in the Champions League without the Champions League. What? Anyway, we'll be building on that story and seeing what Arsenal does. Of course, they have AC Milan in midweek in the Europa League. Their only chance now of getting any positive out of this season, and of course getting into the Champions League next season. We'll definitely be following up on that. But of course, like we discussed on Friday, there were other big games on the weekend with Napoli taking on Roma. They lost that game 2-4. Of course, at home. Big chance for Juventus to build on. They beat Lazio away from home. Now they're only 1 point behind Napoli there.
With a game in hand.
Of course. And the rest of the round of fixtures there in Italy on Sunday had to be postponed, of course, due to that sudden death of Davide Astori, the former Fiorentina captain. Lots of wishes have gone to his family, of course, in this trying time. And we had a big game in Spain as well, Barcelona taking on Atletico.
Yeah, Tony, it was a big game, and just like the Atletico coach said, the only difference between the sides was Messi and the team that
scored a sublime free.
Yeah, the team that had Messi won. So, but we did expect, Tony, that this Barcelona team would have won this game. I think you said 1-0, and yeah, they won 1-0.
And of course, it was at the Camp Nou, now 8 points ahead of Atletico, while the closest rivals looks like also Barcelona might be wrapping up the title very, very soon. But of course, like we say at the show, football never stops. Tonight in the Champions League, there are big second round games. PSG hosting Real Madrid. PSG without Neymar, but of course Madrid also coming into this one with a bit of shaky performances in the past. What's your prediction, team?
Tony, 3-1. 3-1 to PSG. I think the ghost of last season that knocked them out should be still in them, and that game is going to be a motivation for them that you cannot turn around.
Last season they won 4-0 and then lost.
Yeah, they lost. Now that is the motivation.
This time they've lost fast.
Exactly, and they're going to use that game as a motivation that you can still come back from down, Tony. And I thought Neymar was a little selfish in the first leg. this team with Di Maria, who might start, might attack Madrid. And should PSG get 2 goals
in the first half
or before Madrid scores, it will be problems for Madrid.
Of course, we'll be definitely waiting for that one. I think Madrid have the quality to still win this one. I've gone for a 1-0 draw, 1-0 win for Real Madrid in this one. Liverpool host Porto that they thrashed in the first leg 5-0.
This is a done and dusted fixture, so I think Liverpool might win again, but around 3-0.
Of course, Klopp has come out and said that he'll maintain his first 11 players because he wants them to keep the momentum. We know that they have a big game at the end of the weekend. At the weekend, big early game there. We'll be discussing that in detail in our next episode. Of course, United will be hosting them there. But of course, there'll be more action in the Champions League. Stay tuned to the Tonny and Tim show, the YouTube channel as well. You need to be tuned there as well. Subscribe. We'll be bringing you more of our predictions, more of the results from all the games across all the select big games that we'll be bringing you there, and our predictions. I'd like to thank you for your comments as usual, and also sharing with us your predictions and your feelings about your teams. Of course, from us at the Tonny and Tim show, we have nothing left to say for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.